All right, let me be straight with you. If I started a fitness journey in 2026, I wouldn't do it based on the motivation. I would do it without the extremes, and I definitely wouldn't do it with some 30-day punishment plan. Because, quite frankly, the motivation is unreliable. It feels great when it's there, and then it disappears the second life gets busy. Most people don't fail because they're lazy. They fail because their whole plan depends on how motivated they feel that week. And that's a terrible strategy in my experience. If I started again in 2026, the only thing I care about is consistency. Not being perfect, not being the most, just doing something I can repeat. I commit to training 3 days per week, and that's it. Not six, not seven, three. Because the 3 days works when your work blows up. I would say it works when you're tired. It works when you got stuff going on, like in personal life, as most of us do. 7 days a week only works when life is calm, and life is almost never calm, in my experience, in my 42 years. What usually happens is people go all in, they train every day, and they feel unstoppable for a few weeks. That much is true. Then they miss one session, and that turns out into a missed week. And then they back into, I'll start again next month. That's not a motivation issue. That's an unrealistic plan, I would say. So 3 days per week, done all year, will absolutely smoke 7 days per week for a month. Now, as far as the food goes, if I started 2026, I wouldn't eat like I'm getting ready for a photo shoot. I eat like an adult with responsibilities. So what does that mean? That means protein and fiber for every meal, and carbs simply stay in. Alcohol, I will mostly drink on Friday and Saturday. Nothing extreme, nothing dramatic. I love when people come really enthusiastic to me. I'm going to cut this, I'm going to cut that. But I understand that that simply doesn't stick because the whole, cut out everything approach never works long term. You cut carbs, you cut sugar, you cut alcohol, you rely on willpower. And eventually willpower runs out, and then you binge. Then you feel like you failed, and then you quit. Say that's because you lack discipline. I wouldn't say it's because the rules. It's because the rules were stupid to begin with. A boring, balanced diet you can stick to beats a perfect plan you can't. Same thing with movement. I wouldn't try to be a hero per se. I wouldn't run every day and call it a mental toughness. That's how people get injured and end up doing nothing for months. I walk 10,000 steps per day, every day, week in and week out. It's not exciting, it doesn't feel hardcore, but it works. Low stress, low injury risk, and it adds up. If I started in 2026, I wouldn't ask, how hard can I go? I'd ask, what can I realistically do for the next 12 months? Realistically. Because that's the question that actually matters. Motivation is like sugar, quick hit, big spike, and then a hard crash. Consistency is just a steady burn, nothing crazy, it's just showing up at the same level most days. And that's where the results come from. Not from being fired up, not from being extreme, but from being predictable. So if you're starting in 2026, don't build a plane for your best days, build one for your busiest weeks, your tired days, your average unmotivated moments. Because days are coming. Consistency will always beat motivation every single time. That's how you change your body, and that's how you keep it.